What's up, guys? It's Shane Larson here with Scarlet N Great, which is Ohio State football with Scarlet N Great on YouTube. It's another day that goes by, which means it's been 3,511 days, I think, since Michigan last beat Ohio State. So if you hate Michigan just as much as I do, hit the like button on the video. Share this with your friends and family as we build this Scarlet N Great empire. In today's video, you're going to be hearing my interview with our four-star tight end commit, Bennett Christian. We're going to be hearing the ins and outs of the recruiting process, what his relationship is like with Coach Day and the others, what he's all about. We're going to hear about his leadership skills, skills on the field, skills off the field, what's his off-season workout routine like, and much more. Stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Shane Larson here on the Scarlet N Great Empire. This is Ohio State football with Scarlet N Great on YouTube. Want to thank all the listeners and the subscribers who have helped us build this channel so far. We want to ask you guys to please continue to help us. If you guys are a Buckeye nut, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like this, and share it with all the rest of Buckeye Nation. Joining us today to get to know some of our recruits. Today we're going to be talking to Bennett Christian. Bennett is not small in stature, the 6'6" tight end out of Georgia. We want to talk to him. So Bennett, thanks so much for joining us and letting us get to know you a little bit better, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for letting me on the show, man.
Absolutely, brother. So let's talk about your position, your tight end. Class of 2022 out of Georgia. Had some offers from some big-time schools. I mean, competitive schools here, even in the Big Ten for that matter. But you committed to Ohio State. We're excited to have you. We're ecstatic. Buckeye Nation is a very faithful fan base. But we do want to know what drew you to Ohio State when you came to the visit. Is there anything in particular that drew you there? Like, talk to us about the visit that you had and kind of what you saw there that kind of drew you there. You don't necessarily have to dog on the other schools, but we just would like to know kind of what the experience was like from your perspective as a recruit coming to Ohio State.
Yeah, so obviously it changed a lot of stuff from the usual recruiting aspect, but really just I think the pursuit from Coach Wilson, Coach Day was like overwhelming, and I just felt really wanted, and I was shown like almost every single day, what Ohio State can do for me, like what it can do for my brand, and how they can develop me into a future, NFL tight end, because that's everyone's dream to get in the NFL. But, the thing about Ohio State, it's a winning program. It's somewhere that, like, any kid would dream to go. So it's really hard to turn down the Buckeyes.
100%, man. They do produce a lot of good talent, especially at the tight end position. And that's why I was, like, super stoked to be able to talk to you. And we were happy to hear that we landed you because, yeah, I mean, this system, historically speaking, has, put a lot of these tight ends in great positions to be successful at the next level. Did you ever watch the Buckeyes? I mean, you're from the South, so that's a legitimate question. I want to know, like, Did you watch the Buckeyes, prior to this, or was this kind of a new thing for you? And how is it being received from your people, your close crew down there in the South?
Yeah, well, I grew up a Tennessee fan. My dad played football there. My mom was a cheerleader, so I was growing up a huge Vol fan. So I wasn't huge on Ohio State, but I definitely loved watching them play. Like, I grew up on the national championship years when I was that's when I first started watching football. That was like my 5th grade year or whatever it was. And I just grew up on Ohio State being one of the best teams in the country, and I loved watching them play. I mean, they were like obviously one of the best programs. So obviously I wasn't that huge of a fan because I was, Tennessee legacy or whatever, but I definitely loved watching them play.
No, that's cool. And I expected that. That's the realistic viewpoint of it. I mean, you grow up down there, and it's not normal to maybe. I mean, it's religion down there, and plus you had some family ties, obviously, to Tennessee and whatnot as well. So, talking about the family ties, Bennett, we want to know a little bit more about you as far as like your work ethic and kind of what it was like growing up in a family where dad played at a high level. You know what I mean? Like, talk about that. Was that a lot of pressure growing up, or was that something that you utilized and you leveraged to your benefit?
It's definitely something I utilized for my benefit. I mean, having like a dad who experienced that definitely put a vision in me, like since I was like in 2nd grade when I was first starting playing football. I mean, I knew where I wanted to be, And so, like, I worked. I mean, I worked really hard. I was in speed and agility when I was in elementary school. Obviously, as you grow up, you like tend to love to train harder, as it's part of growing up. So, definitely, as I've grown up, I work hard, like harder and harder every year. It's just like, especially when I had my first offer, it was like, okay, this is a reality now. It's not a dream, and so that makes you just want to go even harder, especially going to a place like Ohio State. The competition is going to be, I mean, the best anywhere in the country. So really, that's just like, um, it's incentive to work harder for everything that you get.
I dig that. At 6'6", 235 is what you're listed at. Obviously, it sounds like you're putting time in the weight room. What's your outside of just playing the game of football? What's your off-season routine like? What are you doing to prepare, not only just for high school, but again, like to go to the next level, like you said, to get prepared for that Big Ten football type of play, that physicality? What's the off-season like? The weight room, the film study. What do you enjoy doing to prepare for that?
Really a mix of everything. Obviously on field stuff, but also off the field. It could be mental, just film study, like you said. Watching myself, critiquing myself. I know we do a really good job that over at Allatoona High School. We're huge on watching film. We watch it for 2 hours and critique everything that we could do. But that's the off the field part. On the field, physical part. Um, Now we're doing summer conditioning right now, summer practice. So we wake up 7:30, get to the gym at Allatoona. We lift really hard, a team lift, go on the field, run some sprints or whatever conditioning. Go through about an hour and a half, 2 hour practice. Get off, either watch film or no, we just go home. Usually around 4:30. I'll go over to my trainer named Corey Bridges, ex NFL athlete. There I'll do a lot of like recovery, rehab, speed work, change direction, hips, ankles, spine, basically all the muscles that you would never hit. It's balance, it's explosion. So I'm usually there. Um, Usually on Sundays in the off season, I'll go to a pass training academy. It's really my semi-7 team. That's where I do one-on-ones with some of the top guys in the country. People from Alabama go there who are currently starting. So I go against the college guys right now, and it's really good competition to make me, ready for when I get up there.
Yeah, man, you're elevating your game. I love that. That's what I like to hear is the work that it requires. I mean, a lot of people talk about the work that's required, but you're actually doing the work that is required. It's a
Right,
little bit different. People talk, and then there's people that take action. Sounds like
right.
you've already developed those. And what I also wanted to unbox there was the fact that Bennett, you were talking about, recovery. That's a huge piece. Young athletes don't necessarily think about now, but me myself in my 30s now, and wishing I could go back in time and focus on recovery and some of the other little things that you just mentioned there, the things that you don't work on as much. That would have been vital for me. It would have been a major piece. So I'm glad to see that you're already building those habits, the strong
For sure.
foundation that's required to just be healthy overall, but obviously compete at your sport at the next level. For the Buckeye fans out here, Bennett, talk to us about your biggest strength on the field first, and then we'll talk about your biggest strength off the field, like outside of football. But what's your biggest strength on the field? What are you going to bring to the Buckeye program when you actually do get to Columbus?
I always say my physicality, and that could be blocking or running routes. It is everything. I'm gonna be physical. I think that's kind of like at Alton. That's what you're put into you since you walk in the door. It's physical, physical. Like we hit and we hit hard. That's what Altoona does. So I think I'm a really physical football player. I've adopted that well. I've been coached on that since again I walked into the school. Off the field, I want to say probably my leadership, and I think I'm pretty outgoing. So just try to be kind to everybody. Somebody like who people can talk to. Somebody who the Bible says rejoice with those who are rejoicing and mourn with those who mourn. So kind of go by that. Just always be happy when people do well and mourn people mourn.
I think that you're a good person. Like that, just being a good person, which also doesn't seem to be a very common trait these days. So it's good that we're getting a good one in you over there. That's a good leadership trait to have, just being a good person, treating people with respect, mourn with people who mourn. I love that. Bringing that to Columbus. What were the facilities like? I'm like curious to know, like, you visited different schools, but what was the facility like at Ohio State when you got there? Was it for someone like yourself that's, big time athlete, big prospect here, you get to see some big things, but I'm just curious because to me, I still get giddy as a 32-year-old who still loves the sport. But what was it like going into the facility at Ohio State?
It was pretty breathtaking to say the least. Like, you walk in, the first thing you see is like all the national championship trophies and the trophy room, and it's like insane. And you walk in, you open the doors, and it's like the longest hallway I've ever seen in any facility. It's filled with offices and stuff on the walls. So overall, like the whole thing, it's pretty insane. It's I think definitely one of the best facilities in the country. The practice fields are great. They have two grass, two turf, and indoor. The grass is really well kept, and the turf is obviously top dollar. So it's really nice.
So awesome, man. What's your relationship like with the coaches? You mentioned that they were pretty, persistent. They were coming after you. They respected you. They wanted you. But what's your relationship currently with the coaches? Do you feel like you got a pretty solid foundation, even though you haven't even gotten there officially yet?
For sure. Like because of COVID again, we never got to meet until just recently. So it's like we're tight. Like, it's like a family. They're like my second dads or third dads. Like, I have a lot of dads up there, because to say the least. Like, they take you in under their wing, and it's really like a family thing. You definitely get a lot of that. So definitely have the best relationship with them than any other coach I've ever talked to. I feel like really wanted. Like I said before, it's different.
That is cool. It's just really cool to hear from our
Oh
perspective.
yeah.
Just kind of see like what it's really like from a recruit's perspective. See if they like, are they really that way? And they are. It sounds like they
Right.
are.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
they're the best people.
that is awesome, man. That is super, super cool. So, Bennett, as you're preparing to come to Columbus again, class 2022, you're getting ready for final stages of high school, of course. But coming to Columbus, what would be your, I guess, do you have any fears? Is there anything that you're anxious about, or is it more so just excitement? What are your thoughts as you go into your final year of high school, preparing to get over to Columbus, Ohio?
I wouldn't say I have fears, but I definitely have like um high tension. I'm just like, I'm so eager to go play like that. So it's kind of, I always have to tell myself, like, don't get too caught up in that. Just play high school football and go 100%, and good things will happen. And then switch back to college immediately when the season's over. But focus down here first, but make sure my body's 100%, play the season 100%, win a state championship, and then go up and win a national championship the next season.
Oh, dope. I like that. So tell me this too. A lot of guys, I want to know, are you a visor guy, not a visor guy? Like, what's your swag like? Or are you kind of traditional? Some of the tight ends, it's hit or miss with tight ends, because some of them are very traditional, just normal face mask, don't wear any gloves, whatever.
Yeah.
But what's your style, man? Tell Buckeye Nation what your style is.
All right, so I'm not much of a visor guy, but this is what I'll do. I mean, I'll wear like I'll always spat my ankles on the outsides, and then wear a leg sleeve on one sleeve, gloves, wrist tape, and a white undershirt that's flowy. That's usually what I wear for every game. It's kind of my style. And maybe like a neck gaiter.
Oh, you got the gaiter too. Okay,
yep.
So the leg sleeve on one leg, you said, not
yeah,
both?
Just one.
Is that just to look good, feel good, play good kind of thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
okay.
You look good, you play good. It's just, that's the rule.
Oh, 100%. And then eventually, yeah, you get paid good. Hey, so now that the NCAA has, lightened up the NIL, the name, image, likeness, are you planning on doing anything to build your brand? I'm just curious to see, like, if that's something that's
for sure
in the discussion there for you, so that we can shout it out if necessary.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if anyone's watching this who wants to like make a deal, partnership, whatever, going into my college years, I mean, my DMs are open or whatever. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's be awesome.
You guys heard it. This is the thing. This is why we want to utilize this platform for Bennett Christian, who's going to be going into a big-time college football program. If you guys are listening to this, you've got a business, a company that you want to partner with him. He just said it. His DMs are open. You might want to check your DMs tomorrow morning, man. It's going to get a flood here. So, Bennett, any final words for Buckeye Nation? If you could say one thing, I guess, like what should we expect from Bennett Christian when you get here? What's the biggest thing you'd say that you'll be contributing to here at the program?
Contributing, just adding on to what the tradition already is. Keep the wins going. Continue to rise into obviously the number one powerhouse. No one's gonna be able to touch us in the next 4 years of what we're building here, and I think really good things are on the way.
Can't wait, ladies and gentlemen. Bennett Christian, he's going to be here before you know it. He's still got to focus on his final year of high school. So let you do your thing, be present there. Like you said, give 100%, but we look forward to seeing you sooner than later in Ohio. Just really appreciate you joining us, man, and let me talk to you for a little bit.
Yes, sir. OH.
IO, baby. Let's go. Everybody make sure to hit that subscribe button, share this with your friends and family, and we'll talk to you guys next time.